Good evening, everyone. Is my screen visible? Yeah. Thanks, Prasanna. So, today we'll take a brief introduction to the yesterday's topic. So, yesterday's our topic was CFT, right? Now, I'll not take much time. Let's take a simple overview of the topic and we'll jump into the technical part. So yesterday's our topic was CFT, right? CFT stands for Cloud Formation Template. Okay. Now we'll directly see the advantage of CFT over the others. Now, uh, first thing, let's say I want to create an EC2 instance. Okay, EC2 instance or some S3 buckets. That too not one. Let's say I want to create multiple. Let's say I want to create 10 instances I need to create. So I need to create these two instances for my application. Okay. So in first case, I'm doing using the AWS UI, right? I'm using AWS interface means we'll go to our management console and I will type EC2 in the search bar. Then I will create one instance. Same thing I will do with the S3 bucket. I will search S3 and I will create 10 S3 buckets with different name. Okay, this is a normal, simple process, but we can see that there is so much manual work I'm doing here, right? If I want to delete some of the instances, I need to go to S3 bucket and I need to delete manually. So this is one case. Now coming to a second case, let's say I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the same thing here also, but this time I'm using the AWS CLI. Means I'm using the command line interpreter to do the same work, right? Now here my work is reduced, right? Means I have no need to go to the each thing and each instance. I have no need to create. Now I will just queue a script in CLI and I will click. With one click I can create many instances, right? Means here we are reducing our half of the work. So this is the advantage of using CLI. Now let's say I'm doing the same thing using Amazon CFT. So using CFT, see, I have reduced like my work to 75%. Means there is no manual thing. Everything is automated. Now, if I want to create 10 S3 buckets and some EC2 instances, I will go to that template and these templates are reusable. Means I have no need to remember that commands which I need to remember in CLI. It's okay, you can go to your documentation, but you should fetch the command and you need to run in CLI. Now here in CFT, you have no need to remember that commands. Just you should redirect to that template and these templates are reusable, right? Now, there is one more problem that if we need to delete some of the buckets, let's say, here I need to manually go and delete. Here also I need to specify which bucket I need to remove. Yeah, and in front of that bucket name, I should keep the command like rm that bucket name. Then that bucket will be deleted. But here in CFTs, we are implementing the stack implementation, right? So if we delete one that single stack, then entire code will be deleted. So here by using CFT, our entire process is automated. I hope you have known the difference between these three use cases. So let's jump into the technical part now.
Yes, again, welcome back to the technical part. Actually, there was a bit of confusion yesterday for me, but today I'll make everything very clear to you. So let me log in into my AWS console. Okay. So this is my AWS console. What was our previous class? AWS CloudFormation template, right? Let's quickly go to that. CFT. I'll search CFT and I'll find this. The first one, which is CloudFormation template. So I told you, right? We'll have a thing called stack. A stack means basically it's a data structure, but here we won't discuss much of it. But for now, for our use case, why do we need to create a stack? We need to create a stack just in order to run our YAML scripts. That YAML scripts will run in this stack and it will go to the it will convert as an API call to our AWS account and resources will get created. It's so simple. So directly let's create a stack by clicking on it. So I told you, right, we can choose an existing template or we can build it from this infrastructure composer. Like I have told you, you can drag and drop those things, but for now let's choose this. Let's quickly write a YAML script. So before starting, you need to have Visual Studio Code, just because you can also write in a text editor, but the extensions which were given in Visual Studio Code are top notch. Like you can download it from here. You get a lot of support to write these YAML scripts. Let's create something. Uh, yeah, CFT dot YAML. Okay. Let's start writing what all we have. Let's check here. So we have a version. Okay. Version. Yeah, we got it. Okay. Then description. So basic thing. This thing we'll write on our own. Resources. This is the most important thing, because whatever you skip here or you make any mistake, it's no matter, because this thing is constant, as it doesn't change because it was developed in that year, I think so. But this thing, resources, is the most important because we are here to create the resources, right? So it is very important, and our first and foremost aspect why we are using this CFT to automate everything. So resources, then you need to give a tab space and start writing whatever you want to create. So we'll see how to create an S3 bucket. S3 bucket, you can name it anything. There is no strict order. Then type is also very mandatory in this type. So keep it in quotes. You can write AWS double colon S3 double colon and a bucket. So it's pretty straightforward. As you're creating an S3 bucket, it doesn't have much configuration, but when you are creating an EC2 instance using a YAML script, you'll have lot many things. You need to configure your security group, you need to configure your key pairs, you need to configure your instance type. These all matters. But for now, to make things very simple, let's, for this a tiny session, let's just create an S3 bucket. So we we gave the type. Now the another thing which is important is properties. Properties means,
Sorry to interrupt, Karthik. They're asking to teach slowly, so kindly be slow.
yeah, actually I thought it was a recap. Sorry, I didn't notice it. Yes, President, definitely I'll teach slow. Okay, where am I? So again I'll start from beginning. Let's start writing our YAML script, our first YAML script. So leave it alone. This is the previous one. Let's not care about it, but let's start writing YAML script from scratch. So we'll have a version, right? What kind of version? Okay, we'll get help of our copilot. Let's take help of our copilot, like it automatically gives us, but for now I don't need it. Let's directly go to resources. So we need to name the resources, right? This is the most important part. In a tab space, what is your resource name? See, you are writing this YAML script just to automate the process. Previously you gave that in AWS CLI as a command, but here the thing is different. What if you want to create lot many instances or lot many or the combination of S3 bucket and EC2 instance, or if you want to create a VPC, what you'll do? You can't directly write everything in a command, right? So to write everything, think this as a notebook. You are writing everything as a notebook and then giving it to a Xerox center. Just think in that way. Like it's not a practical example, but whatever we use in our day-to-day activities, I try to relate with that. So here, first thing, what we are specifying is resources, and then in resources, what we need to name our resource. We can name it anything. I can name it Karthik, but we need to name it something which is meaningful. It doesn't care what you have named it, but name it according as you like. When you start working in an organization, the person who sees this YAML script should be able to understand very easily, even if he is a beginner. So let's name it as S3 bucket. Then what we have the second attribute is type. So why am I giving another tab space? Because in resources we have S3 bucket. In S3 bucket we have type, and in okay, let's see one by one. So this is the indentation. If I skip this whole indentation and write something here, it is another attribute which we are creating later, right? It's another resource. If it is a resource, then I can write another resource over here, but here we are not creating another resource, right? We are just naming it and giving its properties or attributes so that it gets created in a proper way. You know nested statements, right? A statement inside a statement. Okay, let's quickly write properties. And what do we have? We have bucket name. Bucket, in bucket we need to write bucket name. In EC2 we may write something called like instance name. If we are not sure, we can also check the documentation for some help. For now I'll write bucket name. So it's giving something, but let me take my own bucket name. I'll take, okay, I'll follow the syntax. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I can also name this in this way. My new bucket, what's today's date? 2604. Okay, I'll name this. It's better, right? Now I'll go back to this. I'll choose my existing template. I wrote my YAML script. This is my basic YAML script. Have written it. Now I'll just upload it and check whether our bucket gets created or not. So upload template file. I'll choose the file. Okay, where have I written it? In which folder? Yeah, AWS folder. Okay, in AWS folder we have 3 files, and I'll check CFT. Okay, it accepted. See, before taking any file, it first checks whether it is error free or not, then it accepts the file. Now let's click on next. Let's give our stack name as day 12, sorry, uh, stack new correct, something like this. Next. So let's quickly skip all these for now. Stack policies, role configuration. You might need this when you want to protect your resource. Next. So it gives us the template is ready. Let's quickly submit and check what happens. So it shows create in progress. So the creation of bucket takes place. Until then, let's go back to S3. And check whether our bucket got created or not. Okay, these are already created buckets. Let me check this. Create in progress. Oh god. So it again shows this got failed. Why? What is the reason? Okay, we messed up something with syntax. So it shows whatever the error we have done, it shows this error is done and please correct it. Let's try to correct it, whatever we have done. Okay. I'll cut all of this. Okay, what have I done? Okay, I gave the same thing, right? What's the mistake? Okay, let me check. Is this the error? Should not be the case, but okay, let's keep it and then run the same thing. Properties, bucket name. This time it should work definitely. Okay, I'll name as my new bucket today something. Okay, now I'll upload this file. It should work definitely. Stacks, create stack. So quickly I'm going quick because I have shown this all process previously. CFT, next, new trial, next, next. Definitely it should work now. So the previous stack failed, but it should work this time. I'll delete all of them. Until then I'll delete all of them. So to keep our buckets empty, like to just show the blank buckets and view the creation of new buckets. Okay, so today is April 26th, right? One thing got created. Let's check. Create in progress. Yes, successful. Now it is successful. You can see two things got created successfully. Okay, I'll check in my S3 buckets. See, my new bucket today, this got created. That's fine. That's fantastic. See, this is the bucket which we have created, and the time. This is the date and time what we have created. So when I click on this, I'll find nothing. It will ask me if you want to upload any files, then you can. But this is our logical bucket which got created, which has all of our YAML files. I mean to say, this has our configurations for uh, CFT, which means this is our CFT file, code formation templates. It has all its templates, and this is the bucket which I mean to create. But this got automatically created by AWS, which means it stores all our code formation templates. But for now, it didn't store anything. Okay, it gives something. I think the thing is clear for you. I just wanted to create an S3 bucket and this got created. Like this is not just mandatory for S3 bucket. Okay, let's proceed with the next class. Pavani, you can start.